Today on Singles Court, Joanne's ex-hubby makes Evan huffy.
If this is part of her daily life, then I'm going to be part of her life. Then I want to find out who this guy is.
He thinks the visits are X-rated.
She spent the night with her ex-husband.
She wants him to stop being childish.
Does he have to meet every single patient I go in? No, Ron is a patient.
And Brenda's fixation on fame is striking out with Bob.
Every time she sees something in a magazine or on TV, she's going to buy it.
Now her plans to add a little sting to their sex life have landed her in the penalty box.
I'm talking about a vacation.
It's a sex vacation. She wants to go.
You don't want to have sex? You have
Sure, I want to have sex in the privacy of my own room.
Hi, I'm Michael Day. Welcome to Singles Court, the #1 show on the Singles Broadcast Network and the place where singles come to find help with their relationship problems. And here's the lady who listens to them, nationally syndicated relationship expert, Angela Segal.
Hello, Michael.
Hello, Angela. How are you?
Fine, but you know what? Somebody asked me today on the way to work if it was okay if they spend the night over a boyfriend's house to use his toothbrush.
Like early in this dating etiquette?
Yeah, and I'm thinking, well, would you do that anyway?
Well,
I need to write a book on it.
What would be worse, to wake up with wolf breath? Or?
I think everybody should use their own toothbrush.
Okay, well, you can write about that in your next book, but right now we have some singles in the studio who need some help. Please say hello to Evan, who is a hardware store manager, and Joanne, who is a home care worker. The two have been dating for a few months. However, Evan has an ex to grind. Yes, he has a bit of a problem with Joanne's, well, she frequently visits her ex-husband. I'll let them explain it a little more, but I call this the case of the excessive ex-husband exposure, or triple X.
Well, Joanne, it sounds like you have quite a visit going on often. What's going on?
I go out once weekly to do dialysis with him.
With him being your ex-husband?
Yes, my ex-husband, Ron. He's got advanced diabetes, and
Sorry,
I go out.
dialysis, that's not a new board game or anything.
No, it's not.
It's serious.
Not
Okay,
electrolysis
sorry, I'll stay out of this then.
He's got advanced diabetes, and
Okay.
he can't afford. He lives out way back in the woods. He can't afford to get into the city to have his dialysis done. And I'm a home care worker.
Okay, so you also have a relationship with... So
Only in that sense.
Okay, and what's the problem with that? I mean, I guess that's pretty nice.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of nice if that's the real story, you know. It's like...
I mean, it's the real story.
I don't know.
You that.
Is it?
It is
you
the
know,
real
because
story.
when I met her, we've been dating now for about 6 months. You know,
Okay, so that's all, for 6 months, that's always been the case, right? She's always gone out there to see
Yes,
her
it has.
ex-husband.
yeah, sure, it's always been the case.
So
but,
when did you think it wasn't the real story?
Oh, well, because I've asked her many times just to meet this guy, because if this is part of her daily life, then I'm going to be part of her life, then I want to find out who this guy is, right?
Ron doesn't want to
And she
meet
won't
you.
even
He
let me
doesn't want to
meet
have
him.
you come out while he's having dialysis.
But he has dialysis once a week. What about the other 6 days?
Well, he's a really shy guy. He's a real loner. He lives out in the woods. He doesn't want to meet my new guy.
I don't want to watch you
He's not
give him
interested in doing
dialysis.
that.
I mean, I'm not going to sit in the
know you
room. I mean,
don't.
I could
Just give
wait
him
outside in the car.
Give me time,
we
give
could go
him
for coffee
time.
or dinner.
Okay, Joanne, how much time do you think you need? I mean, 6 months you all have been dating. So that means in 6 months, I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but that's a whole lot of visits.
Yeah.
And once a week, and there's 6 other days in the week. That's a lot of time to still have not met him. I mean, I kind of agree with Evan.
Well, we went through, it was a really messy divorce, and I just don't feel ready to introduce the two guys. And Ron's just a very shy person. He's very
more than that.
quiet.
And maybe she doesn't feel that the relationship is to the level where she should introduce you.
That's the thing. You know, it's like
I know. That's my point.
I will soon, but I need to do it on my time.
Do it on
Okay,
your
but
time.
Joanne, but do you care about Evan enough?
I absolutely care about Evan. I love Evan.
Then tell me
Okay, so
the
if
truth.
you love somebody, why would you not introduce them to
Because it's not
your life?
It's not time yet.
What would be the time? What exactly are you waiting for?
When I think Ron will be comfortable with it, my ex-husband.
You know what? Smells like fish, looks like fish. It is fish. That smells fishy to me.
I am a
And
professional
it's even more
home care
fishy
worker.
than that.
It's not.
It is.
I go
Okay, because
once a week. He's
last
not part
Friday.
of my,
Last
That
Friday.
is
He's
part of your
not
life.
part
Once
of
a
my
week,
life.
but once a week is part of your life.
That is once a week professionally. Does he have to meet every single patient I go in? No, Ron is a patient,
That's
and
not
that
the,
is
no,
there's
that
nothing
is not
going
the
on.
same thing. And you know it. That is not the same thing.
We made plans last week to go out, right? And about an hour before, she calls up and says, "Listen, I don't feel like going out tonight. I'm just going to sit at home and I'm going to watch."
So this was going to be going out with Ron.
No, the two of us.
two
We're
of
going to
you.
go have a
Okay.
nice romantic dinner, right?
I
She
explained
calls
why I
it-
did
Wait
that.
a minute, Joanne. Let's hear. Okay.
And she says, "Well, we're just going to sit at home and just watch some TV. I'm not feeling very good today." So I call her back in another hour or so, and well, there's no answer at her house. Right? So I wait a little bit longer and I call back and there's still no answer at her house. So I'm thinking, okay, what the heck is going on here, right? So I hit the incoming
I told Evan why I did
redial
this. There was
and
a
I
good
found
reason.
out that she was calling from the same area code as where her husband lives. I mean, she spent the night with her ex-husband.
I admit.
And you got to make a choice here now, okay? You got to make a choice.
I was there.
Him or me?
Let me hear your explanation, because at this point I feel like I ought to go get a pole to fish, because you really are. This is really sounding funny.
Okay, I didn't tell him the truth because I was there late at night. I knew he'd be suspicious. He's suspicious when I go in the middle of the afternoon. It was a rainy, thundery night, and I slept there. But I slept alone, not with Ron, and I knew that he would be freaked out if
Who
he.
wouldn't? How about one of the things I think really is effective in these types of conflicts is put the shoe on the other foot. If he did that with a woman and told you the reason he didn't tell you the truth, would you be comfortable with that?
No.
Okay, so why do you expect him to be?
Because I need to work through some things before I fill him in on everything that's gone on in my life.
Okay, well, you know what? I think now's the time to work through them, because if you're going to, he's giving you an ultimatum pretty much, and I don't blame him. I think he held on longer than most. At this point, you have to come clean. Well, I mean, what is the deal?
Okay. It's really hard for me to do this because I wanted him to know me first, the me now. But Ron and I divorced 5 years ago. We have a daughter, 6. Her name's Lisa. And the only way that I can see Lisa, because he has custody, I am allowed to see her once a week in his presence, because I was deemed an unfit mother.
What?
Because I had a cocaine addiction.
What?
Okay, I knew you were going to get upset about this, so it's really
Joanne,
hard for me to get this out, okay?
Joanne, I understand what you're saying and how hard it is to get out. But don't you think it's harder to get out now than it would be if you told him in the beginning? Before you had feelings for him, before he had feelings for you?
I thought he wouldn't even look twice at me if he knew that about. He said on our
Okay,
first
so
date,
then you find somebody who
family
will.
value.
That's all. You move on to somebody who can accept you as you are.
He's someone I want to be with, and that's what it seems
But
to
he doesn't
be.
know who you are.
Let's
Evan,
ask
how do you
Evan.
feel?
He does.
Evan, how do you feel about what she just told you?
Well, I don't know how to feel. I mean, okay, is this all? Are you on drugs now? Are you still
I haven't
doing
touched
drugs?
them. I went through an addiction center.
If this is-
I've not touched them in 5
I feel like this
years.
is just the tip of the
I've
wedge. You know what I
cleaned
mean?
my act-
I'm
I've cleaned my
beginning to
act
find
up.
out,
I have not
what else?
touched drugs in 5 years. I have become a home care worker. I have maintained a steady income and kept my life clean, and that's who you know.
Well,
Something totally different from...
Okay, but you know what?
I'm the same woman.
Let's at least be fair here. Okay, granted, it's a big bombshell, but there's some bigger issues. A, you know that she had a cocaine addiction. B, let's talk about the fact that she has a daughter that you didn't know about. She has a child.
Right.
Okay, which makes her not just a single person like you knew
she
before.
needs me.
Now she's a single mother. So how do you feel about that?
Okay, well, first of all, it's not that much of a leap, you know. I knew you were married. I mean, a child wouldn't have scared me off, first of all.
It's not the child. It's like you're going to ask, why does a mother lose custody? And then I'm going to have to tell you. And I knew you were going to see me as some sort of messed up woman.
See you as someone who's made a mistake? That's what you
People
are.
don't-
I'll be
mistake.
back with my resolution. People make them all the time.
Yeah, but
You should have told me, right?
I was going to tell you.
No,
People make mistakes. All people. Evan, obviously you were broadsided here with a lot of information. And I would never advocate someone withholding information because I don't believe in that. But I would ask you to at least understand the motivation behind it and that it wasn't hurtful. And then also to give Joanne credit for the things that she has done, which you can quantify. She's kept a steady job. She's made an effort to see her daughter every single week and has not fallen back on that. Those are the only things that she can do. She can't change what's happened in the past. So she deserves some credit for those things. Joanne, I understand why you didn't want to tell him. But you must understand that the issue is not him forgiving you. The issue is you forgiving yourself. Because until you do that, it doesn't matter whether he forgives you or not. You're ultimately the one that has to forgive yourself for what's happened. You can't change it. It's happened. It's already happened. You know, within a relationship, without the admission of a mistake, there can be no forgiveness. So if you can't admit that you've made the mistake, how can anybody forgive you? And that's kind of where you are now. By hiding it, you weren't admitting it, and without admitting it, he couldn't forgive you. So you've been in this cycle. What I would suggest the two of you do is don't just end the relationship at this point. At least give it a chance. Give him a chance to get to know your daughter. Give him a chance to get to know what you're trying to do. If he decides that he doesn't want to forgive you, and you have that right, then you move on, because you do still have a life, you do still have a daughter, and it's ultimately what matters to your daughter is that you're a clean and sober mommy. That's what matters. Clean and sober every day, not just some days. Because in the long run, you want her to remember the mom, not the bottle, not the booze, and not the drugs. And that's that, the final word.
Next on Singles Court, Brenda's fixation on fame is striking out with Bob.
Every time she sees something in a magazine or on TV, she's going to buy it.
Now her plans to add a little sting to their sex life have landed her in the penalty box.
And now I'm asking for a vacation where we can connect to our soul.
It's a sex vacation. She wants to go.
You don't want to have sex?
You know.
Welcome back to Singles Court with nationally syndicated relationship expert Angela Segal.
I tell you, every time somebody drops the bomb.
Yeah. I mean, some of them are very shocking, and some of them are pretty, not shocking.
That's
but
right.
We'll see what we have in store for us today, because in the studio we have Bob and Brenda. They need your help. Let me tell you first that Bob is a foreman at a lumber plant, and Brenda works at a doctor's office. The two of them have been living together for about 3 years now, which is pretty good. It's taken this long to find something in the relationship worth squabbling over, I think. But the problem arises is that Bob is finding Brenda's obsession with celebrities a bit too much to handle. I'll let him tell you more about it, because I know he's got something to say, but I call this the case of obsession depression.
So Bob, what's the big beef?
Well, it's really very simple. You see, it started small. I mean, every time she sees something in a magazine or on TV, like lipstick, the Gwyneth Paltrow's got a new shade, she's going to buy it. She sees a dress or kind of pantyhose that Cher's wearing, she's going to buy that.
Buy it immediately.
What Tom Cruise and they got a new couch. She had to go and buy the same couch.
So what's the matter with that? Our house looks fabulous.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
A little expensive?
No, it wasn't expensive. I got it on sale. I get everything on sale. I know where to shop.
Oh,
I
come
get
on.
my
I've seen
information from these magazines.
The chats is just going crazy.
Angela, these magazines give me good ideas. I get inspirations.
The couch that we had was just fine. We didn't need to replace the couch.
It wasn't. It was falling apart, Bob. It was 15 years old.
Listen, what you're talking about is, let me give you a new word, advertising. They love that. If she buys what they see, that's not unusual. It happens all the time.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. But this is just a symptom of the bigger problem, because now she's seen this thing.
Let's get to the
Some
bigger
movie
problem.
guy says they went to some sex thing, some tantric sex ranch or something like that, and now she wants me to do it. And I said, no, that's where I draw the line. I said, this has just gotten out of hand. It's this is too crazy.
Bob has a big problem.
It's silly. It's stupid.
If we attempt
you want to buy all that other stuff, it's fine. But no.
You know what? Let me give you little rules, okay? Just like they have rules in sports, we have rules at Singles Court. One person at a time, because that's the only way I can hear. I have 2 ears, but they don't hear two different things. It's hard.
So could I speak for a minute, please?
Yes, you may.
Okay. Bob didn't complain when we both went on Suzanne Summers' diet and lost 5 pounds and felt fabulous and looked fabulous. He didn't complain about the fabulous meals I made. He didn't complain about the large screen TV that I bought, like Jerry Seinfeld's, which he sits in front of every night.
I didn't object to the TV because it's a TV. It's got great resolution and great detail. But it's a Jerry Seinfeld. Why do I have to buy it because it's got a Seinfeld name on it?
She bought it. What she likes. What do you care?
And
don't blame me. I like it because it's a good TV. But I don't complain about that. No. But it's the final point. You're dragging me off from my intimate details.
On our inner souls by going on this yoga retreat instead of just focusing on orgasm. How about a little bit?
Wait a minute. How do we go from orgasm to yoga to a TV?
Because he sees it all as the same thing. He sees anything that's remotely connected to the stars as ridiculous and commercial. Well, you know something? Bob knows a little bit about that. Bob's totally obsessed with the sports world. Look at the way he dresses, Angela. He never takes his clothes off.
You know what? Both of you are obsessed with talking. Because I can't even think.
Okay.
Yeah, really?
Okay.
Please.
All right.
Now, you have a problem with the fact that you say he's obsessed with the sports world. I would have never guessed. Give me an example.
Okay. Well, you know something? Let's just tell about what our main point of focus when we talk, okay? Our conversation, it revolves around, let's see, Tiger Woods' magic ball, or the baseball guy's shoes, or, you know, this is all Bob thinks about. Bob's, well, you know something.
Bob, is that true? I mean, is that all you talk about?
Not all I talk about, no.
All you talk
but
about.
I work
It's
hard
all
all
you
week.
think about, you know? When I
Hey,
write
who's-
about my hair, talk like that.
Yeah, you talk.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's on a line here.
both
Tell her
of
to be
you
quiet
are.
for just a second.
Okay.
You asked me a question. It's true, yeah. Sports is my big hobby. That's true. That's what I work hard all week. I come home. This is my hobby. I have a collection. You know.
Okay.
Talking about collections, Angela, please, can I show you just a small
She's
picture?
doing it again.
Please, okay? I have a picture which will demonstrate. You
I
asked?
have a question. Do you like hound the celebrities? I bet they run like hell from you.
Okay, can I just say something about that? If you'll notice in the picture of that bedroom, Angela, please, you know, because he tells me that I'm silly and commercial. Look around the bedroom. It
is not a bedroom, it is my rec room, okay? And my television room.
Like your
It's a
little
place
bedroom.
where I
It's
go
all
to
you
relax.
spend all
Okay,
your
okay,
time
whoa,
in.
whoa, whoa.
I don't
So,
spread
let me
my
ask
stuff
you a
all
question
over
here.
the house.
Everything
I have
has a
one
logo,
room.
the hat,
I
the
don't
t-shirts.
involve
Bob,
everybody
time
in my
out,
stuff.
time out. I
need
don't
one
have
of
my
these.
whistle with me, Bob. If Shaquille O'Neal had a tantric sex retreat, would you go to it then?
You got it. You
No.
got it. That's exactly it. Yes, you would. Can you? Okay. The whole bedroom,
Excuse me, I
he's
thought the
got
words were coming
same
out of my mouth. I
garbage
said
pail
no.
He had when he
I
was
will
8 years
not.
old because it has a sports logo on it.
It's got Bart Starr on that. Hey.
Let's look at this, plain and in black and white. Okay? You don't like the fact that she's into the celebrity thing. She doesn't like the fact that you're in the sports commercial thing. But yet the two of you have been together for 3 years. So obviously there's some middle ground. Let's talk from that point.
Okay.
Where do you all have a middle ground? That's what I want to know. Yes.
The problem is she wants me to. The problem is she wants me to take my sex life, my personal, intimate life, and share it with a bunch of strangers. I don't want to do that.
Okay, Bob, you know
Well,
something? I'm talking about a vacation. Angela, would you please ask Bob where we took our last 2 vacations? Now, he's saying that I don't share, that I don't compromise. Please ask him where we took our last 2 vacations.
Okay, I'll take the bait. Where'd you take your last 2 vacations?
New York, and 2 years ago I took her to Canada.
All right.
So what's wrong with that?
Angela, New York. You think
Of
New
course
York?
there's something wrong with
You
that.
think Broadway, you think Greenwich Village, you think Soho, you think, you know, New York, right? Well, we went to a place called Cooperstown, New York. It's the
home of the Baseball Hall of Fame.
center of the world. I don't know. And we spent
It's
2
part of
weeks
the
eating
American
hot dogs
heritage.
and French fries and
Do you
going to
guys-
baseball games.
I have a question. Do you guys have family?
No.
Bet they don't visit much.
No. Well, unfortunately, because we can't work this out, please. Now, the second vacation, you think Canada, you think pine trees and mountains and fresh air. We went to a place called Toronto, where they have a hockey museum. It's something else, a hockey museum. This
Okay,
is where
so
we
you didn't
spent
like the
all our
vacation.
time. 2 years in a row, and now I'm asking for a vacation where we can connect to our souls, where we can get a little bit intimate.
Will you talk the whole time like you're doing now? Because
No.
I would go by myself.
No.
Okay, question. Why can't you go? Give me one reason why you don't want to go on this vacation with her. Since you went to 2 for you.
I'll go on any. I will. I told you. I'm not.
Because
It's a sex vacation. She wants to go.
You
she
don't wanna
wants
have
to
sex?
go.
You know, you have a
Sure, I
problem
want to
with
have
that,
sex
Bob?
in the privacy
So
of
what's
my
the
own
problem?
room. I don't
I'll
want
be
to share
back
it with a
my
bunch of strangers.
resolution. Goodness gracious. What we have here are 2 people talking at each other. You know, Bob, I think you like arguing. I think you enjoy it. It's really become your comfort zone. A lot of what you do, the excessive talking about sports, partly is because you like sports, but the other part is you know it antagonizes her, and you like it. You, on the other hand, you're guilty of the same thing. You like it too. You know, you enjoy the conflict, you enjoy talking about the celebrity thing because you know it annoys them. Otherwise, it would just be a TV. It wouldn't be Seinfeld's TV, and it wouldn't be Gwyneth Paltrow's lipstick. You know, you enjoy it. Both of you like it. It's become part of your relationship. And you know, when chaos becomes part of your relationship, what happens is it becomes your comfort zone. And as long as that's your comfort zone, it's very difficult to rise to the next level within a relationship. It's become the way you live. You know, it doesn't really matter where you go for vacation because no matter where you go, the other one's going to complain about it anyway. You see, nothing will change in your relationship until you decide that it's time for us to put aside the chaos and work on the relationship. The relationship would mean the things that we have in common, the reasons why we love each other. So what I suggest you to do is shelf the chaos. Call a timeout on the sports memorabilia. As far as you are concerned, stop taking pictures of celebrities and following what they're doing. Just long enough to concentrate on the relationship. Because when you both do that, the game that you're playing, but it's funny what happens, because what happens is both of you win. There are no losers. You both win, and as far as the sex is concerned, it'll be better than ever because you're both in it for the same goal. You know, a touchdown. And that's that, the final word.
Well, there it is, the play-by-play from the relationship celebrity herself, Angela Segal. Join us next time here at Singles Court, the final word for singles.